Okay. I'm here. Now the real fun starts. Let's check and see if... Guess not. Just have to hope that whenever somebody comes in here, things are going to end up working out. Okay, so... last check. Start split. Does not work. Start split. Next split. Do not want to update my sum of bests. And it did restart everything. 1, 2, skips through. Stop. And that reset it. Okay. I ought to pull up my settings just in case. Start split, number pad 1. Reset is on 3. What is the... I guess I just keep pressing 1 until it works. Okay, well. Well, screw you, Tic Tac Panda. Even if you say it's not going to, that you're not going to help, that's too bad. Will I send that message? Yes, of course I will. Why wouldn't I? Alright, so, the way this is going to end up working is I have an alto. I speedran timed myself the first time I went through this and was able to complete in alto in a little bit less than an hour, I think. It was like 56 minutes or something like that. But I have something to add to the table this time. This is the 30-minute missions option set 3. So I'm looking to either get the shield and the big sword out of this to go with it, or we're going to augment with some of the extra things I've built over the years that, like, I should be able to make something cool out of this, but I haven't tried yet. So I'm going to build an alto, and then I'm going to build this, and we're just going to kind of see what ends up coming out of it, you know? Before I get started, I just want to sort of take a look at these parts here. What do I have? I've got 2 of that sword part of it there, and then I've got the big thing with the shield and the lance parts on it. And there's some alternate blades, other bits of the lance part, and I have no idea what this thing is, but it looks like it plugs into something. I should probably look at this before attempting to build it, but that's, you know, the entirety of the fun, right? I've got a couple ways to build the sword here, where you can have the little sword bit sort of inside there, so it's a full blade, or you can have it just be a scrunchy blade, or you can put a tip in the sword, or have it hollow. There's many choices that can be made, it seems. Then you could do lance of multiple types. Does the handle... The handle gets used amongst everything, unfortunately. Water bottle has water in it. So, it's going to be an interesting experiment to see how this all ends up turning out. Then, got... Oh, I have 2 handles! Oh, yes! Can I dual wield? No, I cannot dual wield the swords. I will need to make 2 of the swords, but there will be sword and there will be lance. Okay. I suddenly went from, yeah, this is pretty cool, to, oh, hell yeah, in like 3 seconds flat. So that's always good to see. So, part of the fun of this is going to be the lighting of it, because there's a, an open curtains behind me here, and those are, going to end up, yeah. Okay, I think I'm set, so all I have to do is just set all of this in a reasonable place. I've got the polycaps here. Do I remember where everything is on the runners? There should be, like, some preparation before doing any of these things, but, forget that. I built enough altos. I think I remember where everything goes. So, yeah, we're gonna do it. I don't think the Roy is going to count for the head I'm doing. So that is going to be not necessarily built for this. The gun also will not be built. I'll just be taking the backpack because that's where the Alto just kind of stops, you know? So, set up everything here. Alright. Then I gotta click onto this to make sure things are gonna be ready for when I start. And then, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so popping out all the polycaps that are going to be used on here is maybe not the best way to start, but it is the way I am starting so that I have any sort of semblance of completion of this. Then, go into head. Keep getting my nippers caught in the gates as I'm pulling away from it. Yeah, come on. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of easily avoidable time loss as we sort of go through here because the pressures of building quick do not come naturally to me. So that is all part of the fun. Can I just twist that bit out? Yeah, I sure can. Alright, then... Okay, those are my parts.
Hello.
The output for Discord's audio is not coming from the place I expected, so people might be hearing it multiple times. That's going to be interesting.
Oh god. Oh yeah, you're doing a speedrun. You can't just stop and fix things.
I mean, I
quickly.
can, but, you know, I shouldn't, per se.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, so how's it going?
It is going. I spent 6 hours on the first area of Xenoblade.
Yeah, that kind of happens with these kinds of games.
And got bodied by a level 70 fish.
Yeah, that's the Xenoblade experience. They've always got some sort of, like, strong enemy or tough monster hanging out, like, right in the starting area to really get newbies, where, they're just like, oh, you know, I can just kind of go anywhere, right? It's, like, Oblivion lets you do that, too, I think.
I mean, it didn't stop me. I just got bodied and was like, okay, let's not go that route anymore.
Yeah, one of the things I really liked about Xenoblade Chronicles X that didn't really come back in 2 is there was a special ability that lets you just get ignored by random encounters. So you could just run wherever the hell you wanted to as long as you had that ability active, and it wasn't difficult to, like, charge that ability up and cycle it through so that it was always active. So, yeah, it's one of the things I missed when I sat down and played Xenoblade 2.
Yeah, it's... X and 2 are definitely on the list, but...
Yeah, see if you like... Well, they're all kind of different in their own unique ways, but I liked 2 a lot. Wait, no, I'm putting the visor in upside down. Oh, that's time loss. Alright, first split. 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Alright, cool. It's a good start.
I mean...
It's fine. It's fine. It's a strat.
You're more than 10% into the kit, and you are at 10% time, so I think that is a good time indeed.
Am I more than 10% into the kit? I mean, by my splits, sure, but, like... those splits are just for milestones. They're not for, like, actual, I'm not entirely sure what the word is off the top of my head, but, like, this is the time as it's happening, you know?
Yeah, but also just... It doesn't have that many parts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's these 2 runners here, and I've built, like, 5 or 6 altos in the past, so... Yeah. Oh, I just remembered that there are these, shoulder things here that I was just about to skip past, and I was like, wait, it's gonna be bad if I assemble the chest without putting these in.
Their words are difficult today.
They sure are.
Hello and goodbye, whoever just joined.
My Live split timer is covering up whoever the heck is here. Introduce yourself. Don't need that runner.
And then
Oh,
I'm
it is
later.
Oomst?
Dot bracket call me Pixie close bracket.
Oh, it's Pixie again. Hello.
I'm currently working on the Revive Gundam.
Yeah. They reprinted that
currently having
recently and my
another
local store is flooded with them.
Yeah, I got mine 40% off
Nice.
at Hobby Lobby.
Yep. They've still got that coupon floating around.
8% off all box model kits.
You love to see it.
Yep.
I should probably not be worried about, like, cleaning up all the extra nubs sitting on my table here as I, you know, trip them out, but, that's something that can be revised for, Speedrun 2. The quickening.
Yeah, I'm having a nightmare. I'm actually painting my Revive Gundam.
Good.
Currently, I'm trying into, like, rollout colors.
Yeah, that's the black colors, right?
Oh, that's the white with the red markings, at least in Origin.
No, that's the Proto Gundam. The rollout is the, like, gray and white one. No, like...
I don't know it off the top of my head, so I get to just miss out. Will I see a picture of it before the end of the stream? Absolutely not. I'm supposed to be focused on the speed run. Oops.
I'll just post it in chat, like voice to text for you to look at later.
Dekiner asking, oh, a 30-minute missions kit? Yes, it sure is. Nirendo saying, customization? Yeah, customization %. I explained this before I got started, but I have the option parts set 3 that will be built in with this kit as well. So,
That's the commander one, right?
no, it's the big lance and shield.
Oh, right, the weapons, not the armor.
Yeah. Yeah, no armor for this. Well, okay, maybe I've got, like, leftover armor bits somewhere for this guy, but for the meantime, he's just going to be getting his hands on, you know.
Yeah, it's...
Sword. Shield.
I keep swearing to myself that in the next big haul, end quotes, I'm gonna get myself some 6 or 7 30-minute missions kits and customize them into a whole life squad, but I've been pushing that back out for 3 hauls at this point.
Yep. It's one of those things where you gotta jump on and get started or it's never happening.
I'm currently trying to find a way to get the front chest piece of my Revive Gundam to be like, well, the paint on it to be a bit less sticky and more like flat color.
Yeah. Paint can be hard to work with sometimes.
Yeah, the problem with the whole squad thing is also that it's still kind of 7 kits plus armor sets plus weapon sets. So that's probably gonna be a whole haul and then all the paints and whatnot for it.
Yep. And part of the fun also is, you know, you're going to be building essentially the same model kit, like, 7 times in a row.
I mean, I have 32 HD Gundam frames in my shelf. I'm past the stage where I worry about that.
Suppose so. It's just one of those things where, like, somebody new to this kind of thing has to sit down and say whether they, like, really contemplate if that's the thing they want to go do. Neck piece goes in the back.
I think I have a bit of variation in there. I think one of them is not an alto. I think I have 1 Rabiat in that particular batch.
Yeah, or 1 Portanova or something. Then I need to put...
There's no Portanovas in that batch.
Huh.
I know that for a fact because for that particular grouping, so to speak, I made it all altos and like all the Fetty types because I like the Fetty aesthetic a whole lot more, and those are my favorite parts of Hololive. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go all out on these.
Okay, Alright, body complete. 10 minutes in. Alright. What did I say was next? Hips. Where's the hip section? Here's the diaper.
Is there a way to, like, have paint dry, like, faster, or is it just, like...
Hair dryer, heat gun, but, you will... There are compromises to doing this.
Yeah, just...
I'm currently just utilizing a fan, like...
Well,
there.
also, what type of paint are you using?
Honestly, I don't know at this point. I've used spray paint, hand paint...
Oh, no, what's the medium? Are you using acrylics, lacquers, enamels?
Okay. It's those.
One
Hip
second.
section.
Okay, the white is a Tesla's, and the spray paint
By like, just saying
is
testers
Tanya
doesn't
spray paint.
tell us
Yeah,
medium.
testers makes
test-
a lot of different paints. Testers makes... I know for a fact that they make both acrylics and enamels, but I think they also make more, and what to do is gonna depend a lot on what type of paint it is. The brand doesn't really say anything.
Hand paints, like the Tesla's.
No,
hand paint?
not if you hand paint it or if you spray paint it or the brand. What's the medium? Is it water-based? Is it alcohol-based? Is it lacquer-based?
I think
It says somewhere on the can, read.
Yeah.
Like, this is important because you may cause problems for yourself if you do not answer this question properly. It's why we are very insistent.
Apparently it's flammable.
That's
Okay,
all
that
spray
probably-
cans.
No, it's not a spray can, it's a... No, never mind. A what? It's like, I think it's a liquid. It's like liquid spray paint.
That's
No, wait, not
still
spray paint, hand paint. Yeah.
So it's not water-based acrylics if it's flammable. That still leaves alcohol, lacquer, enamel, oil, and probably one or two more.
This still leaves us many new, unique, and interesting ways which you can kill yourself with the chemicals in play.
Basically. And-
Oh god.
Yeah, it's...
Like, on one hand, that's a joke, but on the other hand, no, it absolutely is not.
Yeah. Like, for
Yeah.
example, if you work with lacquer, wear a respirator. Because you will actually kill yourself if you breathe in too much lacquer fumes.
Wear a respirator anyway.
This hand paint in bottle is giving
gotta
me
move this.
nothing. Other than like...
Stream timer says 17 minutes. I'd be extremely complete if the kit isn't completed in 30 minutes. It won't be, dog. It says 30-minute missions, but I'm not that quick a builder, especially considering I'm pulling out the sandpaper and all.
Pixie, put a picture and voice to text. Just take a photo
Alright.
if you can.
I mean, I've seen pictures of other Pixie customizations, so... He had the timer on this side when it started, yep. Yeah, like, that's the entire point of the life split timer over there. Like, that's the shit speedrunners use.
Why did you choose Lumeria Hawk as the banner?
Oh, you know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like, who else am I gonna put in there? Like, you got... Like, I feel if you're doing a speedrunner thing, you either have, like, the most boring splits timer ever, or you got an anime girl of some sort in there. And so I chose anime girl.
And hello, Breaking Basha.
Hi, Basha.
Breaking Basha did in 25. The good news is,
Also, I put the paint in the chat, although I have a feeling it won't be much info.
That's... Oh god.
the problem with posting a picture is that it relies on you being able to recognize what is going on.
It's not an enamel can, I can say that much with 90% certainty. Man,
Okay, whoop. Piece spun out of my hand there real quick. But we are still moving on. One of the things I kind of like about the this kit I'm building, the Alto Gray type, all of its like inner frame pieces are this this flat black, and then the that's just got white and gray on top of it there. So there's these really sort of stark but neutral color differences on there. So if you're going to end up combining, say, like 30-minute missions kits, so you can swap frames between each other or just sort of color mix out the wazoo, it's a little bit easy to do that, you know? Just because there's so many neutral colors you can mix with everything else.
It seems like Testers does indeed pack enamels in those bottles. That's weird.
Okay.
So yeah, what you're having there is a can of enamel paint, which means you want enamel thinner or isopropyl alcohol to thin it and clean your brush. You
The good pencil stuff.
Yeah, you want probably not the
okay.
fanciest brush, and
Arms.
you want to open a window.
Absolutely.
I have
Get that
a window open, and the paint set that I got that white from actually came with paint thinner,
Then use that.
which I did.
Yeah, just know that it's not water soluble in the slightest.
Okay.
Moving on to the arms. There's a lot more pieces in place here, so my progress is going to slow down quite a bit. But that's okay. Because
I also tried to use Tamiya spray paint, which, like, the flat matte white. It hasn't been quite working.
Did you do it in proper, like, which way did you spray it? Did you keep pressing down the button, or did you do it in short bursts?
Okay, I think I started out like one coat.
it's interesting to hear Blockio try and teach a man how to paint when he already, I think, knows how to paint?
No, I'm trying to figure out how I messed up.
But yeah, Ziana Gunpla. What are we making? This is a 30-minute missions alto that, as you can tell, I am speed running in quotation marks. The intention of this is that I will be customizing it as well, and that's what that last section on the timer is there for. I have picked up in option parts set 3, which is the big sword and the big shield, and they will be combined with this boy to make the eventual completed kit. And then if I'm still not satisfied with the amount of stuff I've slapped onto it, I will be picking up from my bin of extra parts, and we will make it something even crazier. So, that is what I am building.
Oh god, my internet's dying on me.
Rip.
Yeah, this is the question I'm having is not what brand of spray paint did you use, but your technique, because if you say that it didn't work, there can be a lot of factors for that.
Yeah.
I think I went with one spray. Then, like, if I saw a part unpainted, then I spray it again.
Well, let me rephrase that. What's the problem with the finish you got?
I think the hand paint is a bit, like, goopy, and every time I touch it, it leaves a fingerprint mark.
That means it hasn't properly dried.
Go, that's it.
I'm a professional idiot.
Yeah, depending on the brand and the specific can of paint you get sometimes, can vary a lot in drying time. I have one that's dry to the touch in half an hour, and I have one that takes the better part of a week to dry.
Biceps. I missed the
Similar
bicep
situation, my haze gray dries really fast. Like, spray paint.
We are coming up quickly on the 20-minute mark. Breaking Basha threw down the glove of challenge of saying, oh, you should be able to get this done in 25 minutes, and you can see that's not happening.
Not if you believe in the you that believes in yourself.
It's not happening. We
Yeah.
are not on that pace. And a fundamental recognition of the laws of nature will tell you that it's not happening. Or the problem.
Can like putting a part in front of a fan like that's could that speed up drying time or could it add problems?
It's not going to change the speed at which the chemistry works, if you catch my drift, you know?
Well, it's going to change it a little bit by evaporating or like by removing the lingering solvent from the air faster. So it's gonna help a little bit, but you also run the risk of blowing particles, dust, and hair in there, so I'd say not worth it for that purpose.
What you need is time. You gotta just let it sit for a bit and find out how it's gonna end up working.
Yeah, just leave it to dry overnight, or if it's a faster drying paint, work on something else.
And then we'll discover in the morning the reason why we have the thin your paints emoji in the Bad Gunpla Discord server.
Well, that also depends on the paint.
Yeah.
There absolutely are paints that you can just brush on completely unthinned straight out of the can, but...
Yeah, but from how he was describing things earlier, he got paint thinner with it, and it was required.
Yeah, and from all I know, or from all I've heard about testers, it's probably gonna be a good idea to thin them. Enamels are very forgiving about not thinning them comparatively in my experience, but for some it's definitely still the better idea.
I also got some Tesla spray paints, but I don't know if they're going to work that well with like the model kits I'm planning on using them with.
Try it out on a spoon on a piece of runner and see how it looks.
Alright, I'm gonna try that now.
Also, definitely wear a respirator if you do.
Well, that's a given.
Window open.
Wear a respirator if you spray paint.
Wear a respirator.
I can't buy one.
Then don't spray paint.
Damn it.
Simple as. You don't want that stuff in your lungs.
Yup. Yeah. Because part of the fun of all this is, if you don't do it, you're gonna get, you're gonna screw yourself up for a very long time. And, you don't want that.
Yeah, part of the fun of modeling is being alive to do it in the future.
Yep.
Actually, I was just on Char server migrating some of the pins in Gundam to the new Plamo channel, and there's one image that Witch has posted.
Oh, good.
Hold on.
Yeah, go grab it and just repost it there. Speaking of painted, I started painting in SD back in, November. Because of winter, I'm only now able to top coat. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. These are not mine, not Witch's, but these are filters after airbrushing. You don't want that to be your lungs.
Now I remember that picture.
Yes. It has been brought up many a times because it is an important picture.
This is why you use a respirator.
Yes.
How expensive are those usually?
$30.
Okay.
And they'll last you a while.
They are expensive. They are as expensive as you are going to spend this money so that you don't fuck yourself up forever. Period.
Yes, exactly.
It is more worthwhile than any kit you will purchase. Maintaining your tools is valuable.
And it is more worthwhile than the medical bills.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me put it this way. Before I had a respirator, I didn't have any spray paint, but what I did have, unknowingly, was a tube of lacquer-based putty. I opened it, worked with it a bit. My lungs realized that it was lacquer-based before I did. I had a very nasty feeling in my general respiratory tract for the next week from 15 quarter of an hour minutes of working with it. It is not fun. You don't want that stuff in your lungs.
All right. That is shoulder number 1. Then over here, I do get to press these together and then pop that into place. This goes wrong direction. Top of it like that. Then that, I think. Then I need bicep-ish armor. Wrong direction. It's interesting, like, it's been long enough since the last 30-minute missions kit I built that I don't entirely remember how it's quite supposed to go together. So, yeah. Arm number 1 complete, and we are at that 26-minute mark, longer than breaking Basha. But you know what? That's okay. The entire point of speedrunning is not necessarily to just be on the leaderboards. It's to improve yourself and play better, you know?
Sounds like what a coward would
God,
say.
I love TF Wiki.
God damn it, Basha.
What?
Is he posting more stuff that I can't see because I am 100% laser
You
focused?
just said something.
Crunchy aloe vera.
It's alveolar.
Alveola, those are the things in your lungs.
Yep, right.
I still can't pronounce it. Damn it.
Someday.
It's the breathing bubbles.
It's the thing that makes your lungs work.
Yes, one of the many things.
The things that go. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got 4 more parts here, and then I gotta do the hands. I was gonna say, oh, you know, I'd hope to be done with this before the 30-minute part of it, but looking at my time, that ain't happening. But the good news is, I'm getting the faster at this. Just a little bit each time. Each time I build an alto. This is alto number 6 for me? I have built many altos. It's one of those things where I'm starting to wonder, like, do I have, like, one of the good things about the 30-minute missions line is that you can, you know, there's so many different looks you can achieve, but my problem is also that, like, I have found the look that I think is best, and it is, like, the generic alto look. And, the Rabiot, doesn't really do it for me. The Portanova, like, there are angles where it looks good, but it doesn't really do it for me. And then the Seal Nova is absolutely incorrect for what I think makes a model kit look good. So, it's interesting, you know? Then I gotta clean my nubs off my keyboard so that those don't, like, dip in. Oh, dear. You know what I gotta do is I gotta just, oh, wait, I can't scroll this thing too far up because I need to keep hitting the keys so that I can time my splits. Oops.
Whoops, indeed.
Whoops. But yeah. One of the other things that happened to me recently is, I saw somebody post a bunch of deals from Sentai Filmworks, the website, and one of their deals was, hey, here's Armored Trooper Votoms, like the entire box set, originally priced at like $69.99. Nice. But they're selling it for $30. So guess who now owns all of Armored Trooper Votoms on Blu-ray?
I have yet to watch that.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about Votoms, but haven't seen it for myself. I'm aware of the broad strokes through various Super Robot Wars games that I've seen, but yeah.
I'm aware of the broad strokes through various pretentious idiots saying, see, Code Geass is just a total ripoff. And by that I mean I know 3 of its plot points.
Are there people that have elevated themselves to gods and Lelouch is, like, refusing to become a god alongside all these other people that have ascended?
No, he's trying to kill God.
See, totally different. Totally different.
Yeah.
Is that how
I mean, I never paid much mind to them. I just know that the mechs are similarly sized and there's some shit in there about killing God.
Lelouch never killed
there's...
God, right?
Damn it.
Well, his dad did, and then he killed his dad.
No, God killed his dad. Other way around. He commanded God to kill his dad.
Oh, yeah, right. But God still ends up dead. I do know that. I do remember that much for certain.
The king must be ready to sacrifice himself if he is to be followed.
Yep.
I destroyed the world and created it anew.
All it costs... Trade offer received. I give my life. You receive New World Order.
I mean, yeah, that's basically his master plan. And, I mean, in his credit, it worked.
Okay.
You can't tell me that basically his entire plan was built on bullshitting its way around until the end.
I mean, maybe not entirely built on, but it maybe relied a
Entirely.
little bit on that. It's what speedrunners call improvisation, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what we call a segue, trying to bring it back into the topic thing. Except I shouldn't have done that because I was willing to keep talking about Code Geass. Oops. Hell of a segue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I am nearing completion of the hands here. And that's going to be an important milestone because I'll be able to check off the arms. And then from there, it's onto the legs. And then from there, we get to parts I have never built before. And then everything is going to just slow to a crawl. So, I'm expecting this build stream to be somewhere in the hour and a half, 2 hour time frame. And we'll just kind of see from there what we all think about the finished result.
Might have to ever so briefly drop out for a bit in there
Yeah.
because I have a tiny thing to look up for uni.
Yeah, tiny thing.
And considering that later tonight is also movie night on Char server, I've kind of...
It kind of has to happen now.
Yeah, I'm just doing it on the side.
Oh yeah. Good Guy Dan server is probably watching Evangelion too. I showed up for a couple of those viewings of that, and then I just sort of dropped off because there were other things I wanted to do. What is Blockio studying? Some computer science bullshit, I don't know.
IT security.
Wrong hand.
It is indeed some computer science bullshit, except that all the actual homework we're given is just look at this website and write down the things that you do to stay safe on the internet, which is kind of wild to me because the actual lectures are really technical, and then the tasks are just
Not.
this trivial, which if that's gonna be the exams, I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Are you in like a summer term or something like that? Or is this like still your spring semester?
This is I don't fucking know what month, semester, whatever it is anymore. It's been a year and a half of Corona. Do you think that my ADHD ass is able to follow linear time that long?
Okay, however, how long is it until your finals?
How long is it supposed to be, or how long am I actually going to take? That is a big difference.
How long until your final? For this class. Not like your final graduation or whatever, your final for this class.
For this class.
Yeah.
2 months, I think? 3?
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know.
Semester times.
The whole schedule just got completely fucked over by Corona, and the reason I only take one class this semester is because otherwise I'd have had -1 days of vacation.
Wait, what?
That is to say, the final assignment of my last class, of the last class last semester, was due the day after this semester started.
Lovely.
Yes, very lovely. It's also to blame for the absolute mouth-breathing morons in my project group that I had to rely on, but that still doesn't... That is still unimpacted by the fact that the whole semester got shifted back by 2 months because of lockdown delays, and this one didn't get shifted back whatsoever, so -1 days of vacation. Amazing.
Weird. They do things strange over there overseas. I'm not sure if I like it.
It's... Yeah. I can't argue with that. That's just true.
The stress I'm putting myself under is making my shoulders really tense. I guess that's one of the things that speedrunners learn to contend with over time, but as a new runner, completely fresh-faced, has done this once before, a year-ish. God, yeah, like a year or so ago. I'm done with this runner for the moment.
The Final Fantasy thing? That was less than a year.
No, a 30-minute missions, this. I did this once before, like a year ago.
I see. But yeah, I think it's also just the position in which you're sitting, because if you're leaning forwards because you don't want to drop parts into the abyss.
Well, it's leaning forward so that it's on camera, you know? Because if it were, like, comfortable, erected, straight up, I would be out here. I never split for the arms. Oops.
You did not, indeed.
Well, that's fine. It's fine. Look, the thing that matters is the time at the end, you know?
Yeah.
Splits are useful, but they are not necessary. Okay, so I'm trying to keep things like relatively organized as I go, which I don't know how well that's really working. But you can sort of see I'm nulling out all the parts as I'm going here. So the hip pieces are going together next to each other. The joint pieces that go into the feet are staying together with the feet parts themselves. And yeah, there's a lot of big parts on like the intermediate joints. This runner seems to be complete.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's start with feet, I suppose. Yeah, because one of the other things that's sort of interesting about pushing yourself to kind of go fast with this is it sort of changes how you view a model and how you build it, if you catch my drift, you know? Previously, it was looking at the manual for every single step, taking it one single step at a time. But when you build like this, you will eye out like entire sections of a model kit to build simultaneously, and you'll just go get all the parts. So you have to transition between your tools less. And that's a thing that like I think helps you build a little bit quicker, and I feel like makes building less tedious because you're spending more time actually building instead of like swapping between your tools, you know?
Yeah, I've never done a speed build, but I do that as well because it makes it more fun.
Yeah. You gotta every once in a while you gotta experiment with how you do all your stuff, you know? So that you can really figure out like sort of push yourself as a modeler.
Yeah.
Like as the engineer intends is probably
Like,
like my signature thing, and it's the thing I think I enjoy doing the most if I'm doing it like on camera. So yeah.
like messing up with paint.
Well, I'm not going to mess with paint on camera. I think that's a one-way trip to Paynesville, and I don't know how to
Or a
make that
ruined
entertaining as
camera.
opposed to make this entertaining.
Or ruined camera.
Yeah. There's a good way to like ruin your camera by doing a painting stream, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still somewhat surprised that I've never gotten paint splatters on my glasses.
Oh, I did the first time I spray painted. I had the I had the respirator, but I didn't have like goggles or anything, and the wind would blow the particles around, and yeah, it was interesting getting that paint off my glasses.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't
If
really
I
want to come
ever
off
have
once it's
to
dry, and then like everything is really dirty and dusty as you're trying to look through, and you're like, man, is something going wrong with my vision? And then you take your glasses off, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. To be fair, dirty and dusty is just kind of the default state of being for my glasses, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't notice until I can't get it off.
Yeah. Well, there's a point where you take your glasses off and you look at them and you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah, or well, if it's an unusual color.
Yeah. Such
If there's
as
suddenly
red, orange, yellow.
blue.
I say red, orange, and yellow because those were the colors I was painting. Because this was for my my first custom, the Gerbera Tetra Samus Aran.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was good.
I posted pictures of it a couple of
Yes,
times.
no.
I really think the Gerbera Tetra lends really well to Samus's color scheme, and whenever I see it in stores, I'm tempted to like pick up another one and be like, this time it's Gravity Suit, this time it's Phazon Suit, you know, that kind
This
of
time
thing.
it's Dark
Ooh, can you do
Samus.
the fusion suit or?
See, the Fusion Suit is such a different shape that I wouldn't. But if you want to take the color inspiration and put on a Gerbera Tetra, go ahead. I just feel like there ought to be some modifications in place to make the Gerbera Tetra look more like Fusion Suit Samus Aran.
Yeah, I agree. Like definitely smaller shoulders, like in that.
Yeah. It's always funny to like to hear the localization tales for Metroid where it's like, oh yeah, it wasn't supposed to be the Varia suit, it was supposed to be the barrier suit, and we flubbed the translation because the whole B to V thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vertigo, Valiant.
Yep, all that fun stuff. Okay. Don't know if I ought to like plug in the ankle into the foot before I can build like the entire leg to plug it into, but we're past that point now. It's done.
Yeah.
Come on.
Also, I actually got Falcon to watch a few episodes of Destiny with me the other day.
Oh yeah?
And he noticed something. Well, I'm sure you're all aware of the cheeky reference in the Shin, Asuka, and Rei names.
Hmm. 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 You know, I wasn't until you just said it like that.
Yeah, and there's another thing to it. At the end of the show, the thing they're defending, it's called Neogenesis.
I changed my mind about Destiny. Fukuda's a hack. The writer's a hack. I think he's this. Okay, it's time to do some research. I
Yeah,
think
Fukuda.
he was the guy who went on to do the writing for Cross Ange, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
I do not know that.
Go find out, please. What production staff carried over from Gundam Seed Destiny to Cross Ange? Because
Yeah, it did.
Yep. I do remember that correctly. Had enough success with Gundam Seed, Gundam Seed Destiny that they just kind of turned him loose to do whatever he wanted, and he made that heap of a show.
Which, I mean, historically speaking, within the Gundam franchise, when has that ever not gone wrong?
When has what never gone wrong?
Just letting someone who did a reasonably popular Gundam show just run free. When has that
Turn A.
not gone wrong?
Turn A is the greatest piece of fuck it, do whatever you want in history.
Yes, Turn A is the exception. But the same dude who has done Turn A, Tomino himself, has also done Victory and F9, well, not F91, but has also done Victory under much of the same circumstances.
The man has done Double Zeta, and for that I will never forgive him.
The man has done Victory, and from that I probably won't watch another show of his within a year.
The problem isn't doing Double Zeta, it's doing Double Zeta after Zeta.
No, the problem is doing Double Zeta.
Wait, who did Double Zeta?
Tamino. Same guy who did 0079, same guy who did Zeta.
Wait, I thought... Wait, am I thinking of Tomino?
Yes.
Yes, that's who we're talking about.
Kill him, old Tomino.
Wait, how did he... Oh, wait. Zeta was made during his suppression. Isn't that correct? Or...
People talk about that as if they really sort of know, and I don't know how much to put stock in that versus, like, you know?
What's that Victory Gundam?
Well,
Oh, yeah,
Tamino just kind of...
Victory, yes. Victory, absolutely yes.
Tamino also just kind of says whatever the hell he wants whenever the hell he wants. Like, you'll see, like, trumped-up news articles of him shit-talking Evangelion and Hideaki Anno just because, like, he has to hype himself up to even continue doing things because he's, like, an 80-year-old man or something like that. Like, Tamino just says whatever the fuck he wants.
And also, in one infamous interview, he went, "Oh yeah, Jireko is 500 years after Turn A," and then immediately said, "Yeah, I just made that up on the spot." And then later in the same interview says, "Yeah, that's not true at all." So
the problem with Turn A and Jireko is some things only make sense if it's after Turn A, and some things only make sense if it's before Turn A.
And
So
some things don't make sense whichever way around it is, such as the entire infrastructure of the moon.
It's one of those things where you're just supposed to, like... Maybe you're not supposed to think too hard about, like, the hard science stuff and just try and deal with the ideas presented before you.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There are two very different, very heavily terraformed forms of the moon in these shows, and you don't just casually go from one to the other. And whichever way around you line it up, it doesn't really make sense. And the same goes with a lot of knowledge. Because for Jireko to be after turn A, it requires basically a complete redo of the Universal Century in between, because the events from there are well known, far beyond how well they...
Yeah, they've
Far
got
beyond-
like a they got a museum with Universal Century mobile suits in it, right?
And also, like, Jaburo was there. Like, there was Jaburo.
Yeah, but
Also,
that's a name. That's not knowledge of the things that happened and laws
There were also, like,
based
dead
on
gods, like,
Pixie. I'm
embedded
talking
in
right
dirt.
now. Pixie. Sorry.
Yeah, let him get a complete thought out there, and
Yeah,
once he's got his complete thought out there, let's then start dealing with it.
And also, my biggest problem with the thing with saying that Jireko is after turn A is that the whole universal standard and whatnot, that is a pretty big plot point. What is at some point just in an offhand comment to be revealed to be just a direct countermeasure to new type specific weapons, and all of that was not a thing in turn A. So unless large portions of UC have happened all over again in between the shows, that would not be possible. And if they have happened in between, then what's the point of making it after turn A in the first place?
Now I'm struggling
also
to
the
remember
thing
which
that-
direction the leg goes on here.
The Moonlight Butterfly, it's clearly stated that the Turn A was the first suit to be equipped with that system, but in G-Reco there's also a suit with the Moonlight Butterfly system, so it had to be before done.
Well,
like
yeah,
so.
but that's just normal tech retcon that happens all the time. That's... I wouldn't pin the timeline on an inconsistency like that, because that's just a product of its time in a way. Because sure, if you write something with a new system, like if you write a show with something that's never shown up before, you of course go, yeah, this is the first one. And then if it shows up later, you'll have to some way wiggle your way around that. But in that aspect, the canon is soft. However, in things like, oh yeah, there's this whole mess that's a direct reference to what was lost knowledge, that's a bit harder to refute in my opinion.
The beginnings of the Black History.
Yeah, that's my headcanon where
So,
Jireko
wait,
roughly take place.
G-Reco has something that can do a Moonlight Butterfly?
Yeah.
Yeah, the G Lucifer, it briefly shows up as like a side thing in one of its animations. It's just there.
Side thing
Never-
in one of its animations, like in a game or in the show?
The show itself. It's just
Eh,
when it deploys its funnels, it also deploys a Moonlight Butterfly, and it's never addressed. It's just the visual effect.
So it's there for its looks, it's not doing the Moonlight Butterfly thing.
No one knows because none of the super weapons in Jireko are used more than twice, and none of them are ever explained, so everything is just a kind of mayhaps.
Everybody just kind of shrugs and
Yeah.
looks somewhere else.
Maybe.
Like, I know
even
there's a
the-
very important scene where Bellry is handed a manual to read, and he just kind of tosses it aside, and he's like, I don't need to read this, but he's like in the vacuum of space on like an accelerating ramp or something like that, and due to the like speed he tosses the book versus his acceleration, he catches up to the book and it slams into his face as he's like pretending to be a hotshot and not read it.
Yeah, that's... I don't remember that scene, but that checks out.
I remember that scene, and yeah, it happens.
I would find it funny.
There's also the scene of him running face first into a wall at the top of a at the top of a staircase that leads directly to a wall.
The wall. Yeah, that's episode 2 or something.
Yep.
Jireko is a weird show. I personally think that Jireko, or I am convinced that Jireko was not supposed to have a plot, but it's just Tomino going, hey, look at this cool world I built, which it is a cool world, but the plot does not support the weight of events whatsoever.
It's also
Jireko's an
confusing as
anti-story.
hell.
It's not confusing. It's not confusing. You can easily follow it. It's just not well written. There's nothing in there that makes you go, hold on, what the hell is going on? Just,
The writer,
why is it happening?
That's kind of his whole writing style. That's like he's historically known for making stories that he describes as like antithetical to storytelling.
I know, but that's not exactly a good thing.
Well, it's also not objectively a bad thing. It's an
It is.
artistic.
If a story doesn't feel like a story, maybe it shouldn't be a story. It is a bad thing.
How is it bad? It's fun.
Fun is derived, like, not in a way that can be easily quantified and measured. So I can easily say stories are not fun when they are antithetical to the way they are supposed to be told. Therefore,
Sure.
saying, how's it a problem? I think it's fun. I counter with, no, it's not fun.
Sure.
We are at an impasse.
Yeah, but that's the issue.
You have not countered the point of story bad because story not told well.
I don't have to counter the point. I came in and said that it's fun.
Well, I want a little bit more out of it than that.
Oh, damn. Sorry. I think it's fun.
Good. So I've got the bubbles hidden down low so that I can focus entirely on what I'm doing here. Who has just wandered into the call?
Me, hi. Kanan.
Username, handle.
Kanan.
Kanan, there we go. Oh, yeah, cool, got it. That's the way the leg goes. I put one leg together. You'd think I wouldn't have to look at the other leg to remind myself how it's supposed to be shaped, but here we are. Okay. Left hip goes into left thigh.
Also, doesn't Jireko like come after every other Gundam show pre-turn A? Technically.
Essentially, yeah.
No, it's just the Gundam meta timeline is a mess that not even the Gundam meta timeline itself cares about, so why should we?
Yeah.
I believe in Ramba-Ra reincarnation theory.
I believe in the Super Robot Wars canon theory. Did it pick that up? Nope, did not. Okay, customization at 58 minutes. Cool. So, now comes the fun part because I do not know how to build these parts per se. So I have to actually pull out a manual for the customization section.
No, just follow your heart. It'll work.
That's really all it is?
Yes.
For the shield? Huh. I thought there were going to be a lot more parts involved with the shield, but it's just handle and then snap those folding bits together. Okay. And then it's handle and that's the big sword I'm looking to make there. There are a couple of pieces involved with that. Okay. So, let's start with sword.
I really need to get another 30-minute mission kit and customize it like my last one.
Yeah. Or just kind of do what I'm doing here, where you just kind of like, you pick up a 30-minute mission option part set, or like the weapon pack and an armor pack, and you just kind of go from there.
I made my last one a mining unit for asteroid mining. Made some weird headcanon for it, so it turned out really cool with 2 of the claw sets and such.
Oh, yeah. The claws are a really interesting, like, thing that you can include in a set where it's just like, hey, yeah, what if you just replaced your entire lower arm with this big claw? Snip, snip. Okay, that's for the shield. Then these bits here. I don't know what that's for.
I have. Hold on. Are we talking about the same class here? I'm thinking about like the digger front skirts.
I'm talking about the claws you can attach to the weapons. I'm sending a picture in voice to text.
Oh.
Yeah, because I immediately think of like the claws from the weapon set, where it's like the claw and the big gun.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Because then there's also like if you're going to do mining operations, like one of the first things my mind jumps to is, oh, you know, so you probably grab the Rybot armor where it's got the digger parts on it.
Yeah, exactly. Those were the parts I was thinking about.
You can probably use both in there, right? Because you lock yourself into place on the asteroid with the digger parts, and then
Yeah,
you
with like the rocket anchor things.
What unit are we talking about?
30-minute missions, just custom stuff.
Oh, never mind.
So how does this end up going together here? Let's go like that, and then they.
In the at this point hypothetical line of custom things that I want to do, I do have an idea for both of these
Wait,
parts,
so what are?
but
There are some pieces they gave me where I'm looking at them and I'm trying to figure out. Oh, that's what it's supposed to be used for? Wild. I'm sorry, I was just confused for a second there. Keep going.
I would if I knew where I was going with this.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it was just gonna end up with some sort of. And see, this is actually a reference to this year-old Hololive clip.
It's one of those things that seems to come up frequently with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the very least, you're living the dream, right? Considering you get to moderate for one.
Fair enough. Although, you'd have to pay me to mod a proper Hololive chat. That's...
Yeah, I sure hope they pay their mods. Well, considering they're part of, like, a big agency, you know, they gotta, right?
The mods that are part of the company, yes, but some of them have also just made some of their long-standing web subscriptions just, yeah, you're a mod now, go deal with the idiots.
Oh, dear.
Well,
oh,
it
dear.
was during one of the less fun raids where I can think of 2 instances, and both of them were like just a bunch of morons just going, oh, you collab with the one that China doesn't like, so now we're gonna try to bully you in chat now.
Oh, yeah, that
So
stuff. The Free Taiwan stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so some West Taiwan stans went, well, in particular, Flair collabed with Coco, and then some people tried to start shit in her chat, and Flair being Flair, she didn't say. Blah, words are difficult.
Don't take that sitting down.
Yeah, she just outright told them, yeah, you're in charge now, go deal with chat.
Handle it.
Yeah.
Because, for some reason, the streaming sites will punish you, the streamer, for content that shows up in your stream chat. Which I think is not necessarily a good way of handling things, but hey, you know.
Yeah. To an extent, yes, but I feel like malicious raid campaigns should probably be excluded from that.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, to an extent, the streamer shapes the community they have, but if someone you've never met with a large following decides that your life needs to be hell and your chat needs to be hell, that should not be on you.
Yeah, but the point about, like, the entire
It was
purpose of
under your
making rules
control.
is so that there is no wiggle room on things, and so that things are clear cut, so when it gets handed down to, like, whoever the, like, low-paid moderator is that has to review these sorts of things for bans and stuff, well, you know,
Yeah.
you don't want to give them, like, authority and wiggle room. You want to make sure all that shit's locked down.
Yeah, true, true.
It's one of those things where, like, unless you have, like, easy to articulate and understand policies and principles, you end up getting, you get rocked by anybody that comes in that's deliberately trying to cause problems. And then it just leads to you, whoever has to set and found things, drilling way too deep into the weeds over every little thing, and, like, it makes it really hard for you to hand off any tasks to other people.
Yeah, and it also makes it very easy to just fuck up once and then have everyone go ballistic over the inconsistency.
Yeah. Yeah, so clearly what I need to do is step up my moderation, like, I don't know, willingness to slap somebody with a moderation thing in the Bad Gunpla Discord server. Clearly, that's what I need to start doing, yes.
Hello,
Dare
Jack.
to post memes in general, banned.
Banned! Blocked! Blocked! None of you are free of sin.
Have you been hanging out with Jag again?
No. That's a drill tweet that I have appropriated.
I know, but just the attitude is very much Jag,
Yeah. I know
except with less swearing.
I know how to run a ship like Jag does, but I just
Yeah, but
don't.
it's not fun.
There's some fun to
used
be
to-
had with it, but on the other hand, like, Jag is there for the no fun situations.
Yeah.
Then where do I plug this handle? Okay, so
I used to have to be that guy for a German place I used to mod before it went to shit completely. And yeah, it can be fun in the moment when you finally get rid of a jackass, but it's very grating in the long term.
is that going to fit? Sort of. It's too far down for my taste. Oops. Okay. Not quite what I had in mind, because this whole thing's just a massive plank of plastic. How do they recommend? They recommend setting it... Okay. Oh, they're doing it... I see, okay. So part of the fun of this is you get choices for how you want to handle using Big Shield. And they recommend a couple different ways of mounting Big Shield onto hand. And this actually looks kind of alright if it wasn't, like, too heavy for the hand and immediately, like, pulling it down under the weight, you know? You can kind of see it happening here. Well, maybe I need a sub-arm or something to hold it up at the top there.
Really, I think it might work better if you don't plug it into the hand as much as into one of the million 3mm packs on the arm.
Yeah, but there's not, like, an easy peg place to go into there to really sort of help it out with that. So I'm not terribly impressed with the tower shield at the moment.
Oh, then sub-arm time.
Yeah, sub-arm time.
Actually, tangentially related to things being loose or being not loose in that particular instance, I built the RG Wing Zero the other day.
Yeah?
It was very fun, and after everything I've heard, apart from the right heel that loves to fall off, it's a very sturdy kit in my end. It's so far I'm 3 for 0 on early real grades being floppy.
My
0 for 3.
problem with
They
the
aren't floppy at the beginning. They're getting floppy over time. That's the whole thing. At the beginnings are okay.
Well, I mean,
I've built the other one that's on the same frame, the Wing EW, and I am going to say that I do not like the Wing EW because so the Wing Zero, have you put it in the flight form and tried to like put it up on a stand in its flight form?
I hate that kit. I really do.
Because
Which kit?
the Wing Zero can't transform into flight mode because it doesn't have the shield.
oh, it can.
And even if it did, I would not have done it because I haven't even put my high grade wing into its flight form ever. And I'm not gonna do it on a real grade because flight modes are stupid, I hate them, and I'm not gonna waste the time on transforming them.
Yeah, the problem with the Wing EW flight mode is that the inner frame not strong enough to hold it like straight in the flight mode. So you hook it up to your stand,
mine
and then the
has
entire
exactly
torso just
been that.
bends forward. Just droops.
Even then, the flight mode's like I've transformed it. Flight mode's just a flight mode.
Yes, I think I have yet to see a flight mode that I like more than the normal mode, and definitely I've yet to see one that I like enough to put the kid in that mode.
I don't think the flight mode is supposed to be the priority. I think it's supposed to be a secondary feature then.
Yeah,
main
but like
feature.
that problem just sort of exists throughout. Like as soon as you try and start stacking on a bunch of the like you start to put on the ammo extra things on the backs of its arms, and then you end up colliding with the wings in most of the poses you want to take. Or you try and put the gun onto the hand, but like the weird blue bit that's supposed to be the handguard that holds it in place doesn't really want to go into place,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't hold.
I
The
personally
RG
like
Wing
the
EW
Epion
is just
flight
not
mode.
the best. It didn't age well. I have two of them. They both don't really hold up compared to newer real grades.
Yeah. The RG Wing EW is the most disappointing RG I've built, I think.
Yeah, same. I think aesthetically, I have the original, and I also have the like the pearlescent one, like the one that was the P Bandai or whatever it was. But basically, I have the original, and the original looks cool, but it's fully glued together because if it wasn't fully glued together, it would fall apart like spontaneously. Like whenever it wanted to, I wouldn't even touch it; it would just start falling apart. And I got this new one like last fall, and literally after 2 months of just like messing around with it on my shelf, it is at the same exact stage as the other
Oh,
one.
that's the problem.
Totally
Real
different
grades
stage.
are not toys. They're not made to
No,
be
it's not
messed
toy.
around with constantly.
I'm not playing with it like a toy. I treat them like statues, but I move it around.
Yeah, but
because,
still,
I
that's
like to
just...
move things around.
New pose.
Yeah, but that's a terrible excuse to excuse why a kid ages.
No, it's not a terrible excuse. It's just
That's a
you have
terrible
to
excuse.
treat a kid with what it was made
Yeah,
for,
what
and
it is it's a figure that you're meant to pose and put on the shelf for
yes,
years.
but not pose it every other day.
Did I
That's
say
just...
that? I've posed it twice. It's been on my shelf for 8 months, and I've posed it twice. And posing it twice turned it into a hand grenade. Like I'm not here to argue with anybody about anything, but I'm saying from
Yeah, I
experience
just
with
sort of
this kid
display
twice.
my real grades. Even then, like my unicorns definitely has loosened up.
I need to get my unicorn loosened up. At least that right shoulder. I put it together and didn't quite loosen up the right shoulder enough, and it still doesn't have full range of motion up there because I didn't loosen it up nearly enough before I was putting it in. So might have to disassemble a real grade unicorn at some point in the future so I can actually get the full range of motion out of it.
My unicorn is crumbled.
That's too bad.
Held together by dreams and hopes. Both hips broke. The leg mechanism for one of the legs is broken.
Is that the real grade that you're talking about?
Yes.
That's so sad. I've only that was like the first real grade that I heard that like was like really making strides towards being better. So hearing that is just too bad.
Tall geese. Tall
I've
geese.
heard-
But did Tall Geese
Not-
come out before that?
Tall geese came out before the unicorn. I was pretty sure, right?
Yeah, and from everything I've heard about either kit, it seems like the tall geese is also just the objectively better one.
The
I
tall
haven't
geese
built
is
either, but
like there's a reason we call it the small geese because it's just the master grade but smaller.
Yeah, that one.
No,
I
no, no.
don't have that one.
I actually have the real great Tall Geese 3, and it's pretty good.
No, I've heard very good things about it.
Yeah.
Real great Crossbone's also good, and the real great Force Impulse.
Yeah, a lot of the newer ones are pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Like in the
Mainly
last like,
because
5
they
years.
ditched that, like, what molded frame, most of the molded frame gimmick.
The MS frame.
Yeah, that.
Advanced MS joints.
so
Yeah,
far the best real grade I've built is the Quanta, and I doubt that I'll have more fun with a real grade anytime soon.
Alright, so got that. Turn that up.
I think real grades are there to, like, look aesthetical. They're there for aesthetics.
Then
By the way, does anyone have any idea what you can do with just a with just an RG frame? I once bought a lot of Gunpla parts, and there was just one RG frame in there. I think it's the wing frame,
So
and I don't know what to do with it.
so we're gonna compare here sizes. So consider size of sword to size of kit to size of shield.
I diagnose you with IBO.
I diagnose you with big. So what
I
I've
diagnose you with very big, yes.
the decision I am making here, the executive decision, is this is a two-hander, and I gotta get this boy set up so he can two-hand this thing. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig into like the extra parts box that I have down here next to me, and I'm going to pull out some of my pieces from a the Gunpla Battle Arms set. And I'm going to try and put some of the boosters on there from that because, like, all the boosters and stuff from that are, like, white. So, I think it would go with the, coloration on this boy, you know?
Yeah,
I just
can see
gotta
that.
get this arm around into the position I'm looking for so that it can kind of look this way, and then I gotta figure out how to, like, balance the legs. Posing is, not terribly easy sometimes, you know? But hey, if anything can do it, 30-minute missions probably can, right? Hopefully. Can you balance like this? That is way too deep of, like, a lean-in crouch, but, it's holding that pose. So, for reference, like, that's what it looks like from the side there. Like, it's really deep in its big pose here. It's leaning back a good ways just because of the massive weight of the sword counterbalancing against it. So, what do I have? I've got the backpack of the gym-powered arms here. Here are some thrusters and some missile packs. What would help?
Give it the nukes! Give it the nukes!
I don't have nukes. What would help this thing, like... I guess the thrusters are the thing that would help the most, but, like, I don't think the missile packs are really gonna help. Where do the thruster bits go? Besides the front side of these? I guess in the legs?
You have the giant rockets from the GM powered powder set, or what it's called. And they're based...
Yeah, this little guy right here.
Oh, and so you, like, have the parts full of, like, option parts and stuff?
I got a couple of option part stuff.
I
Actually,
It's
the
the
arms.
kit bash box. It's mainly filled with kits that I don't utilize anymore, or not.
Actually, some of these weird wing parts in here might be good for this. I don't know, because then I could say it's like actuating armor for like where it's supposed to go into place here. So if I grab, say, this little guy here, then that'll plug into that. And then if I plug that into here, lets the armor sort of like wiggle around to wherever it needs to go as part of the action. Is this peg deep enough to accept this, though? That's the real question. Yeah, so this is the rest of the stream. The kit's been built. Now we're just at the point where we're just slapping shit together. And that's the real fun of this. Yeah, these holes on top of the shoulder here are not terribly big, so this isn't work. Good. Yeah, these holes are extremely shallow, so those don't plug in terribly well into that. How do the... Yeah, all the pegs on this are exceedingly long, so it's really easy to just, like, not have them go in well.
You can make the female connection into a male connection if you use a bit of the runner, and then at least it holds in. And it doesn't stick out that much.
Could. There's a wing flap. Where's the other wing flap? I know there's two of them. Where'd the second one go? There it is. So, where's a good place to put the wing flaps? I mean, it'd be really funny to just stick them into the tops of the shoulders there and make big wings just sort of come out the top of it, but I don't think that really helps it for, like, go fast, you know?
What do you mean your wing was wrong?
Like,
Big wings don't go fast.
well, I mean, if it goes on top of the shoulder, you know? But yeah, hip skirts for thruster, hip skirts for side thruster. That might work. Or hip skirts for
Reminds me a
wings.
bit of the H3 with like the... if you put that on the shoulder.
Sorry, I'm adjusting the knee joint there because I had it in a sort of weird, non-lifelike look there. I think this goes
Why
into...
not attach the wings to the shoulders? It works for the double Zeta.
Yeah, but they're locked in one position, and the position they're locked in is this one, where it's just going straight up out of it here. And I don't think that's a good look. What I think would look...
Sorry.
What would look better in that, maybe, are these, like, missile packs here? The missile packs might be better in that position, you know? Because they won't interfere with line of sight and such.
Yeah. Clearly what you need to do is to clip off the connection, glue a thin bit of runner in there, and then clip an adapter on that so that they can move.
You don't need to glue anything. You have the pegs in the wing parts, so you can just take a bit of runner and connect them together. You don't even need to glue.
Gonna take the sword out of the hands for a hot second so I can get at the hip joint there, because that hip joint idea from Near Endo I think might be a good one. So let's just take away the sword for a hot second, and then I have to be able to pull. Come on, slide out. The hip joints, the hip skirty things don't really want to come out of there, so I gotta get in there with something. I should use tweezers instead of a hobby knife so that I don't, like, cut myself when this doesn't end up working. Or maybe I ought to just...
Sacrifice
I gotta pull the leg off, but the problem is there's so many, like, articulation points in there that doesn't want to hold still as I twist the leg off. Okay, legs off. Arms up and out of the way. Now, yep, skirty little things come off. It's interesting how hard that is compared to taking these other parts of it off. Yeah. Wing on the side skirt isn't too bad, and that can actually fold down to, like, a reasonable kind of area there. I'm going to try that real quick. Slide that sort of into place. Left leg. Then let's push you back in. Yeah, that's not too bad for a kind of long coat there. I kind of like that. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
It's not so bad.
Yep.
Then twist that back into place there. Then let's see if I can get you standing again. Really depends on the position, I suppose, that the legs are in. Twist it back down like that. Feet flat. Too far back. Lean you forward in. Yep. Yeah. Now it's just kind of like you got a long coat and it's sort of splaying out as you're swinging the sword around to come in for like a big chop here. Then slide that in. Yeah. That's an interesting start there. Okay. Then low sightline missile packs. I guess one of the other questions is if an arm can be affixed to the back, like to the back side of it there, that can actuate the thrusters around, or can actuate the words like shields. That might be another thing to do, right?
Look at the time. It's 9:10 where I am, so I'm going to have to leave the stream. Have a good stream.
See ya.
Take care.
Something that might also be interesting is having some kind of support to hold the weapon so that it's basically assisted. I don't know if you have seen it. Alan Pan is the YouTuber who makes science gadgets and stuff. Made a backpack with such arms to use a Buster Sword in real life.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I kind of see what you're getting at here, so that you can actually like use it, so that you don't have to like reach too far back around, right? It's kind of a smart idea. Or what if I have these sort of pegs here, where it's like there's a hole in on one side, so you could plug in something there, but then there's also these two peg side things here. These two, like, they got an axe weapon, and they got, like, this cleaver kind of sword rifle weapon here. And those could be things I could put on this, so it just, like, swivels out to a proper place where you can, like, reach around and actually grab it. And there are 2 ports in the backpack for me to plug that kind of thing onto, you know? So, what if... Or one of the other things that, like, this thing here, where this... I don't think it's going to really work with the, kind of setup that's here on the, 30-minute missions kit, but this point here is supposed to plug, like, in underneath a waist, and then, once you've got that sort of in place, then you can mount, like, the weapon pack onto it there, where it's got, like, these 2, wing bits here. Actually... I just had a thought. Now we're thonking. Because what if I plug these 2 things into the backpack here? Okay. So what this will allow me to do is if, say, now it's got these sort of folded wing blade things on its back here. So what it can sort of do overall is, on one hand, it sort of fits with like the wing aesthetic, where it's got like kind of a flowing cape going on the backside there. But then in addition to that, you can rotate them around like up to shoulder level and then sort of tilt them so that they're wings. So that, like, hey, if you're going to charge at a guy, then you look at him and you see him coming and you're like, oh shit, he got some wings. You know, if he's faced the correct direction and has the sword pointed at you. But at that point, you know, I'm starting to think about whether, if this guy is going to be doing, like, high-speed maneuvers and stuff with all these things strapped onto it there, does he want the big sword, or does he want the lance? Because you could also build a lance from this. Lance might be the way to go. What do y'all think?
I mean, pole arm's good.
Yeah, polearm is always the medieval weapon of choice.
Something polearm is effective against swords, or and archers are also somewhere in there. I never played Fire Emblem.
Yeah, we're not going to stick to the weapon triangle here, because polearms are not really, like, well represented in there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, pole arms are overpowered. I've had a few years of sword training, and we occasionally do pole arms, and they're far easier and far more fun.
They're far more deadly, too. Polearms are like
Yep.
the superior medieval weapon.
Yes, except for when you're in a very specific, in the very specific circumstance of a confined space.
Yep. It's the only reason where you wouldn't want a sword. But yeah.
Well, that and carrying it around in everyday use.
But yeah, I slapped the extra little booster things on it there. So he's got his boosters on the side of the leg to help him go fast. He's got the wings on part of his side skirt so he can get a little extra lift. And he's got these big old folding wings on his back so he can do some other fun things with it. I took the side skirt points and slapped them into the shoulder armor bits there. Because I could, and I thought it was fun. And, do I have anything else I want to plug onto this guy, or am I kind of satisfied with where I've ended up here? This is alright. This ain't too bad for, you know, what I was looking to get out of this dude.
Yeah, I feel like something Sky Cavalry might be a good name for this one.
Yeah. And one of the other things I think kind of works well with it is the, I picked up the Portanova, or the Alto Gray, and it's got all these white parts like interspersed throughout it, and like that sort of matches the white colors from the Gunpla Hyper arms, and that's working out pretty well. So I think one last thing to consider before I go here is if I can find a good, like, shield thing. The problem is I don't have anything that's really flat per se, and that's going to hinder my ability to really get a shield in the proper position I want it to be in, if you catch my drift, you know? Like, I need those, like, I basically just need a section of runner. Alright, they also have, like, little spikes in one of these kits I built at some point. I have no idea what the little spikes are going to be useful for, but they exist.
If the one from the Borden Arms where you got the missile.
Yeah, like, they're from the Baldwin Arms, yeah. Like, these little spiky things.
The missile.
I just, you know, don't have a use for those spikes in particular.
You can plug them into the big missile pods. I did some what's the name?
It's like
Basically deployable missile pods, which can also turn into arms.
Maybe. But those things are for linking up the shield together. And then these are lance bits, where I can build one of 2 lance types. And then these, like this little plate thing I'm gonna set down there, that would make for a good, like, arm guard kind of shield thing. I think that could end up working out well. But the problem is I don't have a way to mount it easily. So what'll probably need to end up happening in order to make that work is I will need to, like, cut a section of runner, put it into place in the shoulder joint there, and then in place, but then it's like, here it's way too high up, there it's way too low down. It needs to be sort of center there. Yeah. I don't know. That's more a modification that I'm looking to do at the moment here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build one of 2 choices for lances, and then I'm going to call it a knight. Ha! Call it a knight. Womp womp. Because it's a medieval weapon that a knight would wield. Whoa! What I'm learning from the, my friends in the call not laughing along with it is, not every joke is a winner.
No, it's just that I'm in like 7 different places mentally right now.
Yeah. You're trying to figure out if you want to correct me for that, awful pun I made.
It's... I mean, it's a pun I would also make, so I'm not really in a position to talk.
Yeah. Gotta move him to the back a little bit, because there's not really space for that. Yeah, because one of the things I would like to have for a, like an arm guard thing, I recently bought from, Good Guy Dan's, server, is a, 1/100 Graze. The old, like, it's not full mechanics at that point, but just 1/100. And, one of the things it comes with is this, like, arm guard from when they, like, initially launched Barbatos, like, Barbatos' first form.
For the first 2 forms.
Yeah.
3.
They kept it all the way up to the 3rd form? Wow.
Well, the 3rd form had not the guard on there, but the Chevalbic Claw. But the underlying armor is still the same and not the one that has on the right arm and forth going forward.
Huh. It took them a while to, like, symmetrical arm, huh?
Yeah.
How...
Which, I mean...
How long did it keep using that mace that it had from episode 1, you know?
Until they land on Earth. That... It's left floating in orbit.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, the big thing they were doing at that point is they were specializing to fight the Chimaris. And, you know...
Well, it still had the mace there. It's just that during the battle...
It got disarmed.
Out of our plans, and they didn't have a replacement.
Yep. And that's when the wrench mace came into play.
Yep.
It's like, oh man, I wish I had a weapon. Just sort of looks over and sees, like, the big wrench thing, and he's just like, oh, that'll do. How?
Yeah.
Like, what was that thing even supposed to be used for before he picked it up? Like...
I'm pretty sure that was its express purpose all along.
To be swung as a weapon? Then...
Yeah,
but
because,
then,
like, it has the spikes.
it has the chainsaw, but then, like, why was it just left sitting around?
Well, it was left sitting around at the weapons pile. Or at what was left of the weapons pile.
Again, why is a weapons pile left sitting around?
I mean, if you've just landed, set up camp to do some hasty refits...
Okay, they brought the weapon pile with them.
Yeah, they brought a weapons pile with them.
Okay, which brings up a different question of what is the express purpose that you have designed said weapon for?
Hitting things
Something.
and jump.
Cutting.
Hitting things, chomp, chainsaw.
The far more interesting question that gets brought up is how did the turbines get on Earth? Because they were not in the initial descent. They were just there.
Well, they've got their own separate route, Now, a turbine is not necessarily with Tekkadan, so he can do he's not going to get held up by customs like Tekkadan nearly did.
Fair point.
Completely separate. The Roe is not the Hyakuri, so it's not going to get caught, Semantics. I don't remember the name of, like, the standard turbine's female-looking suit, so, oops.
Hyakuren.
Yeah. Because I can't remember which one's supposed to be the super fast flight one that,
Hyakuri is fast, Hyakuren is Thunder Thighs.
Yeah. That's also, like... It's weird that when they're like, okay, we're going to make, like, a female kind of looking suit for the harem group, where we're basically everything except the guy in charge is a bunch of women, and, like, how do we exemplify the female standards of beauty in a mobile suit? And the answer is thick thighs. Thick thighs.
Which, I mean, I'd rather take that over boobs on a mech.
Yeah. Ain't wrong about that.
Just go full on Darling in the Franxx.
Honestly, Darling in the Franxx wasn't even that egregious in the mech design.
Put that over.
It was egregious in the suit design, but the mechs themselves, they just look like a biological mech with very wide shoulders.
And the tiny wasp waist.
Well, with a normal body and then just shoulder connectors out twice the width of the body.
Yeah. It's yeah. The Franxx mobile suits, with what I just said, for, like, embodying female beauty, like, armor for a very long time has been designed to the aesthetic standards of beauty at the time, like yeah, the jousting armor of Henry VI or Henry VIII, whatever that king was, where, like, his dick is molded into the armor.
Yep, the schlong armor.
Yeah, like, the thin wasp waist was part of the, like, standards of beauty at the time. They thought that looked hot. So, that's why armor looks that way. Alright, so I got...
I'm still kind of annoyed that we never got a figure, model kit, or anything for basically any of the Franxx suits apart from the Strelitzia and Delphinium. Because those are still pretty solid designs, and it annoys me that they get so little recognition.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things that comes with putting in the base here. So you can see where they've got the like the C clamps here on the side for where you can plug something in, and then they've got like a thing over there where you can sort of hook into it, So, like, I could hook this up like on there, and that's a valid thing you could do. That's interesting to me. So what I could do, if I were really feeling it, is I could take these side things that I built part of the sword here out of, and attach them on the side here, and, like, sweep them forward for, like, bigger bite, or sweep them backwards so it would be maybe, like, protecting the hand as you went and thrusted. But I don't entirely... Yeah. I don't know. I think what I ought to do at this point is I ought to change the direction of this pose here, where it ought to be like... I don't know if any of this actually ends up working together in a way where you can actually charge with how I've set this guy up here. But you know what? It's probably fine. I don't think I'm going to end up going...
When in doubt, just yeet the lens.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about posing. I'm just worried about, like, looking cool enough at the moment here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the split timer. At 1 hour and 45 minutes, where 45 minutes was spent building the option part set and just slapping random things on top of this guy until I reach this point.
As it should be.
Yeah. Big boy. So yeah, I'm gonna call stream here. Thanks for coming out, Near Endo, Ziana Gunpla, Breaking Basha, and Blockio, and Dekiner. And I guess Pixie too. And Kanan guy who's been gone for a while. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye.